Good morning, Ashes to Rubies family, on this cloudy Wednesday. Welcome to that live stream and podcast where we talk about life and recovery and a wee bit more. I think your dog wants it.
Sometimes we talk about more.
Sometimes we do. I want to say that today is a very sad day of memory because our little buddy Pug died last year. And it was like on your birthday, but it was 2 a.m. today.
No. It was 2 a.m. yesterday. My dog was dead my whole birthday last year.
Mm-hmm. It was sad. If you want to know who Buddy is, then you can go a long time back, and he was in many of our podcasts. Yeah, Buddy the Pug.
This girl didn't make quite such an appearance.
This is bossy, sketchy Mocha, and she's more of a diva and wants nothing to do with cameras or anything really.
Cuddling.
Mm-hmm. Well, tonight is a dinner night. And we're having people from out of town in, and they have Asian descent. And so I'm excited to we're excited to make Canadian food. And then you're like, what's Canadian food? Like, is it mashed potatoes, a roast, and gravy?
Well, the problem is we're a young country. So we don't have our own food. We took everybody else's food.
I heard a comic, and maybe this is a bit rude.
No,
he was talking about food and ethnicity, and he pointed out all the countries that that women are more free. Their food is horrible. No one says, let's get some Canadian food. I laughed. I would say that my favorite food, ethnicity-wise, because I look at food as art. I like spicy, but I like the art of food. And I would say the most impressive people group would be Lebanese. I went to a Lebanese party, and the food on that table was like out of this world professional. And the 3 women that cooked it looked like they could literally walk down the runway, dressed up, hair, makeup. And I'm like, how did you make this? Like, other things that astound me are the Mennonite and furniture. I'm like, I could go into the Mennonite furniture store and go, I'm in the brick. How do you do this? How do you make this kind of like, this product is phenomenal. Singapore food is very good too. Yeah. The real Lebanese food, there is so, like, I like raw food as well. And they had like, I made a pig of myself that meal, but they have this appetizer. I forget what it's called, but it's like, beef tartare. Okay. Like it's raw, like oh my goodness. There was so much to
Mocha, go lie down.
Miss Fingernails is prancing around. What is your favorite ethnicity food? Can I say that? Like, is that ethnic food? Like, what's your favorite country's food? Is that what I'm saying? Indonesian food is great. I grew up there. Satay. And what's your favorite? Canadian?
No, I like lots of different
You
things.
love ribs, so we're doing ribs tonight. So like Canadian food, but it's more American, I think. Smokers. So I'm doing some smoked food today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't think Canadians invented the smoker.
I think that was Alabama, somewhere in the States. Every video that I watch, and I was concerned when I got my smoker, because every video on YouTube is a big Southern boy cooking food. And I'm like,
I think we're headed in the wrong direction.
I thought smoking was healthy.
We're trying to get healthy.
Like, these aren't little boys. These are like 400-pound boys. And they're like the sauce, I guess. Yeah. At any level, I do like the Southern American Southern
All right, let's move on. Yes, you do. You like food. Sorry. You're so excited. I just felt like you could keep going.
I was excited because somebody did the Arise and Grind this morning. You got your shirt on and you went for a walk with me.
I did.
You did the ruck. You did the ruck walk. You were the cheerleader of the rucker. It was nice to have company. I was a bit more self-conscious.
It was nice to wake up early.
I try not to pant, but I feel like I did a little bit. All right. August the 23rd.
I would not have told the world that you pant when you're rucking. I wouldn't have done that to you.
It's just happens. All right. We learned so much in the 12-step fellowship. We learned so much in the Al-Anon fellowship or any fellowship in such an interesting and unexpected ways. In the middle of a somewhat bantering interchange at a meeting, everyone suddenly laughed at something we said. Ha 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 ha. Wait a minute, one member interrupted. Everyone around the table is smiling. We've put aside all of our grieves and our grievances. Do we behave in this cheerful way at home, or do we automatically put on my martyr face? What's a martyr face? I know I do. And right now, I'm going to begin to change that. Let's grill the camera. Let's grill people. Is that the martyr face? So now we have to change it. Today's reminder. Do I habitually wear my martyr face or resting martyr face to remind my spouse that what a hard time he's giving me? Or do I try to lift his spirits, already so depressed by guilt and confusion? Will I really try from now on to be pleasant and a bit gay, and even when things aren't going my way? Oh, that was beautiful. Am I afraid to let those around me know I do have some reasons to be happy, or do I want everybody to feel sorry for me? Quote of the day by John Milton. That thou art happy, thou owest to God. That thou continuest, such thou ownest to thyself. Can you read that for everybody? That struggled. Basically,
If you're happy, you owe to God that you stay happy, and you owe it to yourself.
Basically,
to stay happy.
Show God that you're happy.
Yeah. No. If you're happy, it's thanks to God. And if you stay happy, you should be thankful to yourself. Like, you owe it to yourself to stay happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Paradise Lost.
I'm reminded.
I have not read that book.
Reminded of and I know you have a lot to say on this topic. I'm reminded of when I go to work, I'm presentable and I'm happy and I see people come in and working with a treatment center for 9 years and having really hard situations. And knowing that it has nothing to do with me, and I'm helping people fight for their lives, or even at the booch pit when people come in, you always I hear your voice. Don't be weird when people come through the door, because it's I have this joy, but do I bring that home? And it's I heard a woman's talking, and they were talking about how they get all made up to go out. And it's we put our best face on to go show the world, and I don't do that at home. So am I putting my best makeup face on for you?
Yeah, and I think that's a really good way to look at it, because I don't think what this reading is not saying is that you just need to smile and pretend that everything's okay.
Yeah.
But the problem is that our deepest selves, the deepest part of ourself, is actually not healed by sulking in our self-pity and being miserable. It's actually healed through gratitude and thankfulness. And there's something that happens with our neurons, and if you read about even PTSD therapy, all kinds of things, there's something that actually physically happens with the chemicals in our brain when we choose gratitude and choose to be thankful. And so I can walk around punishing people and my family or others for, the misery that I feel inside me. Or I can choose to look for things to be grateful for and choose to be thankful and choose to be pleasant and
And
present.
so you talk about a lot about having your insides match your outsides.
Yeah. And so I think that that doesn't mean like I feel miserable inside, so I'm just going to go take it out on everybody around me, because that's just really mean and controls every environment that I go into. But can I actually get to a place where I do feel gratitude and joy and peace even in the midst of a storm? And I think that really is possible. And there's several different ways to actually cultivate that and to practice it. And I think that's why we use the word practice, because it is something that we need to practice. And there's certainly tools that are far more effective. Even they've done studies about watching television, what television actually is doing to our brains, and how like if I witness a car crash, it actually does something to me. And so even though we're watching it on a screen, it's actually doing something
Has a
to
negative
me. I'm
impact on the
seeing a
inside.
trauma. And so what are the things that I actually like choose to participate in and choose to do? Do I go for a walk? Am I outside? Am I listening to the birds? Am I smelling the fresh air?
Oh, our social media is horrible on our insides. And so I know you're somebody that has had many years of talking about and experiencing. No, we have sound on our side.
Okay.
We have you have been you've come to here and been maybe accused and noticed it yourself of having a condition called resting bee face. And it's like
I can't not smile.
You can't, yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm mad.
And I've seen you transform over the last maybe 2 years of like you're not situated, your face isn't just resting
happens.
like that.
It happens.
But it's like they did this
choose to smile.
They did this study on water where they looked at the molecules and they spoke and sang music to this water and then looked at the molecules, and then they had this water and they did bad things to it. They swore at it. They said they gave it death threats. No. And the molecules were actually very different. So if I'm doing that, look it up. It's a study.
I want to see
it was
that.
On a podcast.
I want to see that.
And they've done studies to plants like that too. And it's like,
well, I believe it about
if
plants.
I'm on the inside cussing and swearing and saying I'm stupid and I hate this, I'm going to be miserable on the outside. And so I know that the love of God through our program of action, if you are seeking help or you want this change from the inside out, we have a workshop called LifeLab. We're going to start some in person in September, but it is online. So join us for that Wednesday at noon. We can connect as well if you want to join us for a conversation about recovery. But that's the joy of recovery, is that God can do for us what we can't do for ourselves. And the joy comes from the inside out. All right, my friends.
Thank you for joining us.
Go get some food art today. Food. Keep the peace, be of good behavior, and we'll see you tomorrow.